From how the casinos have a quirk to keep you playing longer, to where to find the cheapest beer on board, to how to get your money back if your cruise drops in price, there are a number of secrets that you'll want to know about Carnival Cruise Line. Now, whether it's your first time sailing or you have that diamond status, I'm willing to bet that there's plenty you didn't know about the ins and outs of Carnival. So let's dive in. Carnival, like most lines, has included restaurants, meaning that there's no extra charge to eat there, and specialty restaurants, where you see an additional fee if you want to dine. One secret that many people don't know is that there are certain specialty restaurants that are actually free if you visit during the lunchtime hour. It's not all of them, but check out the daily planner on the app during your cruise. You'll find that some of them offer a lunch option that's normally a little bit different than what's served at dinner, but it is free. For instance, at dinner, Gigi's, the Asian restaurant on board, it's a traditional sit-down spot that costs extra. At lunch, however, it serves up stir-fry dishes that are free to eat. Now in other videos, I've talked about the cameras around cruise ships. Essentially, if you are in a public place, then there will be some sort of camera that will have you in sight. When you see them, however, it can be easy to wonder if they are actually watching you. After all, they don't move, there's no clear way to tell if they're recording or not. I can tell you that yes, the cameras do work. I was fortunate enough to visit the bridge of a ship during one cruise on Carnival. From this spot, not only does the crew steer the ship, but they also monitor everything going on, from alarms to, yes, live camera feeds. So if you think that you're going to get away with something that you shouldn't be doing, well, think again. Are you in the middle of your cruise and feeling that it's a bit crowded? That may not be your imagination. First, cruise ships in general, they are built to be busy. While they are big, they also hold thousands of passengers and crew on each trip. Finding a spot where you're the only one around is tough, and popular areas like the pool on a day at sea, they are going to be slammed no matter what. Carnival, however, they seem to be more crowded than most based on what I call the space ratio. Over on Cruzely.com, I took the gross tonnage, a measure of ship size, of more than 100 cruise ships, and then I divided it by the number of passengers at double occupancy. This figure, it isn't perfect, but it gives a hint to how big the ship is on a per passenger basis. What I found is that Carnival consistently ranked near the bottom on this metric, indicating that there are more people on its ships compared to the ship size than what you normally see on other lines. Just keep that in mind the next time you have trouble finding a lounger by the pool. Now, unless you pay attention to cruising a lot, it could be that you've never heard of Celebration Key. This is a brand new destination that Carnival is developing in the Bahamas, and it will not be ready for passengers until 2025. So, what secrets do we know about it right now? So far, the cruise line, they've been pretty quiet on details. We know that it will be big with the ability to handle 2 of Carnival's largest ships at once. It's set to have roughly a mile of beach, and a rendering released by the cruise line shows a massive pool. Going by the scale of the cruise ships also shown in the rendering, it could be one of the largest in the world, or at least in North America. More details are going to be released soon, but for right now, know that a lot of the details on this project are a closely guarded secret. Who doesn't like finding a great deal on beer? There's one spot that you need to hunt down if you want to get the cheapest beer on the ship at around $5 a glass, a discount of $1 or $2 off the beers on the bar menus. Carnival ships, they offer beer stations typically found near the buffet on the ship. These automated kiosks, they allow you to tap your card and then you pour beer by the ounce. You're only charged for what you pour. I've done the math and it comes out to about $5 for a glass of beer. One bummer, however, is that it feels like these kiosks, they actually don't work a lot of the time. Are you thinking of getting a drink package? One secret in the fine print that seems to catch some people off guard is that the package isn't actually unlimited. Typically, you pay for the drink package and you get what you want when you want. Carnival is one of the lines that puts a 15 alcoholic drink per day limit on what passengers can have. More than that, and you'll reach the limit. One thing to note is that non-alcoholic drinks don't count toward this number, so drink all the waters or coffees or sodas that you want without worrying about cutting into your 15 drink limit. And if you're wondering, The count resets each day at 6 a.m. This secret is one that frankly, I don't like, as I think it's a pain in the butt, but I think it's there to keep people playing in the casino. Most casinos, you put your money in a machine and when you're done, you hit cash out. You're then printed a voucher that you take to a kiosk that looks like an ATM to get your money. Carnival does everything on the room key card. You put in cash and then you slide in your key card to track your play. When you cash out, the money goes onto your account via this card. If you move machines, you insert the card to load the funds. If you want to actually get cash in your hand, however, you have to go talk to the cashier to get paid. That friction, it may cause you to simply keep playing more instead of dealing with the hassle of having to wait in line to get your money out. Carnival makes no secret about its plan to be more sustainable, going so far as to have an entire website dedicated to the topic that discusses its plans and goals. In fact, criticism has grown about the climate impact that cruises can have, and lines have moved toward cleaner fuels, being more efficient, and creating fewer emissions and waste. But buried in the annual report from Carnival's parent company, Carnival Corporation, is a section on the climate risks the cruise company does face. This includes mention that a risk is, quote, cruising no longer aligns to consumers' climate values. In other words, Carnival thinks that tackling climate issues is more than just something that would be a nice to have. They see it as a major risk to the company's long-term future. It's no secret what you spend on a cruise. You'll know exactly what you paid and have a full account of all the charges for money spent on board. But what about what everyone else spends? As a public company, Carnival Corporation, the parent of Carnival Cruise Line, Princess, and other lines, provides regular updates to investors. This includes figures for revenue taken in and the number of passenger cruise days. Divide revenue by the number of passenger days and you arrive at how much is spent on average per passenger each day of the trip. According to the latest data from the first 9 months of 2023, Carnival Corporation sees $239 per passenger day when you add in cruise fare and onboard spending. That's up from $211 5 years ago. This one isn't so much a secret as something that I think isn't as well known, especially on those older ships. Carnival ships have two spots, the Deli and the Pizza Parlor, across the fleet. On newer ships, these are at front and center, but on older vessels, they can be a bit hidden at the back of the ship. Having eaten at practically every restaurant the cruise line has to offer, I have to tell you that these two are consistently the best in the fleet, maybe second to Guy's Burger Joint for me, but they seem to get much less traffic. Next time that you take a Carnival cruise, be sure to make a stop and try the turkey on a pretzel bun for me from the Deli. Speaking of Guy's Burger Joint, this place is no secret. It's on every ship in the fleet and it does get busy. That's for good reason. Forget one of the best burgers at sea, I think it's one of the best burgers anywhere, and it is included with your cruise fare. But the burgers, they have a secret that makes them so good. Hidden underneath that slice of cheese on top is a dollop of cheese sauce like Velveeta. You can see it in the recipe on Carnival's own site. Now, at home, I would never think of putting this on burgers I cook up on the grill, but maybe I should reconsider. Now, one secret I think many people don't know is a fun way to spend an afternoon or an evening, and that's with the biggest drink you can get on a Carnival ship. If you're sailing on a ship with a Red Frog pub, then be on the lookout. Here, the cruise line serves up drinks called fish bowls. They're different flavors and they come in a massive souvenir glass that, well, it looks about the size of a fish bowl. Now, I have no doubt that some of you watching could handle one of these bad boys by yourself, but I would suggest bringing a friend. If not for the alcohol content, the amount of sugar in one fish bowl can throw you for a loop. If you're a late sleeper, then listen up. You might be missing one event that's pretty neat, and it's secretly not listed on the daily planner, at least that I've seen. Those that get up a little early, typically later in the cruise on a day when the ship is at sea, may head down to the pool deck to see that Carnival's famous towel animals have taken things over. During the early hours, the staff puts towel animals on every lounger, along the rail of the pool, and even build some giant ones that you don't want to miss. Kids love this event, but I'm an adult and seeing all the towel animals It honestly makes me smile as well. Want to get your money back if there's a price drop on your cruise? One secret to know is to book what's called an early saver fare. These fares are available up to 76 days before cruises that are fewer than 6 days and 91 days prior to cruises that are 6 days or longer. If you have one of these fares, then you are eligible for price protection. If the price of the cruise drops, you simply fill out a form and you'll have a choice of either asking for an upgrade or getting the difference back as onboard credit. Now, if you have fares known as Super Saver or Early Saver or Pack and Go, then this option isn't available. But even so, if you see a price drop, it is still worth a call just to see if they might help you out. Thank you for watching. I really want to know, what is your favorite secret that I covered in this video? Go ahead and put it in the comments below, or if you have one of your own, go ahead and put that in as well so everybody can see it. Remember, you can always find more on cruising and Carnival specifically over on Cruzely.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, happy sailing.